take part in this competition?
Yes, because it's a competition, it will raise the profile of any school that wins. Because it's competition, it will make any school that was runner-up this year want to come back and reevaluate their strategy and come back next year and be far more aggressive in pursuing it. And because it's competition, it's going to build up the competitive spirit that is required, and then it develops their key team playing aspect, because you don't have a team spirit if you don't play teamwork. If you are not involved in any team sports at all, you end up thinking that an individual is more important than a team, and that's never true. The collective will of a group of people will always achieve more than the individual contribution. So the summation of individual contribution does not equal what the group will do because of the group dynamics. They say one will chase 1,000 and one would do 10,000. So if you're able to pull the children together and build up the spirit of unity at a very young stage, when they go up to international standard, when they play up at adult standard, they will recognize that every key player in a team is as important as every other member of the team.
So it's actually building the spirit of unity and actually making them disciplined sportsmen and sportswomen.
That's right.
Now, what lessons can be learned from the World Cup, coming to the World Cup? Even though England fans are not happy, England is already out of the game, but still, what lessons can be learned? A
great deal of lessons can be learned. Looking at the balls alone, the balls that we've used at this World Cup has been very unique because we've never had an aerodynamic engineered ball before. The ball we had originally was like this, and you had 24 different panels. And if you were going to hit this with a force compared to hitting this same ball with a force, because this now just has 8 panels, you find out that it flies more, it travels faster. So it's good for the striker, it's better for the striker, but it's more deceitful to the goalkeeper. So this is much more spherical than the old-fashioned set of football that we had. So apart from the material, the design of it is radically different. So if you're now working as a very good mathematician, you now see that this is much more tending towards a rugby ball when you have a horizontal side radius that is a lot longer than if you look at the vertical side. So on both sides, you don't have the same dimension. So you can work down and say, look, what is the eccentricity of this compared to this and compared to that of a rugby ball? So if you now look at the different side, because this is a polygon, the way you're going to calculate this is going to be totally different. So that helps the speed, that helps the pace, and that will almost make us be absolutely sure that we're now dealing with a spherical object here compared to the old one. So there's a lot more we can do instead of just looking at the mathematics of this and looking at the way football has evolved over time and seeing what best can be done to even make it better. In which case, you can embed a chip in this football, and each time it crosses the barrier, as it did with the England team on last weekend, you just pick it up because it's a microchip now. Because the microchip, it crosses the barrier, it picks it up. It's no longer that relying on the visual of the linesman, on the visual of the referee, because you can never ever see everything. And if you really want to be accurate, if you want to make it a proper ball, you want to make it a proper ball game where the tendency for error is severely reduced, then we should have a microchip, and everywhere there's a white marking on the field, we can lace that up very easily, and we can track it with satellite technology. So this is the football for the 21st century. We shouldn't play it the way it was always played. We must incorporate technology into every aspect of our life and our doing, and therefore the players will adjust in terms of playing the beautiful game.
Very interesting, and that is actually teaching sports enthusiasts and football enthusiasts about mathematics. So mathematics is actually not a very boring subject.
No, it isn't. Not when you apply it to every aspect of life that it can be applied to, or areas of life where logic is required. If you're taking a penalty, what essentially you're doing is a pure mathematical activity. A, you want to predict the behavior of the goalkeeper. B, you want to come with a speed that is hard enough and fast enough so that it cannot be obstructed, because you don't want any obstruction. And C, you want to look at the entire space that is available to you and put it in the least area where the goalkeeper can catch it. So if it's a left-handed goalkeeper, you need to be able to calculate very clearly. So there's a lot of calculations going on there, and if you're confident in your calculations, you will always get your penalty kick in.
So if it's a left-handed goalkeeper, the calculations are different from if it's a right-handed goalkeeper.
That's right, that's absolutely. And the goalkeeper too has to calculate if the player is a left-legged player compared to if it's a right-legged player. compared to if it's somebody that plays either of them. If you play either of them, then you are disadvantaged as a goalkeeper because you know he can come from any sides and therefore trip you into thinking that he was going to the left instead of going to the right, or going to the right instead of going to the left. So there's a lot of logic, there's a lot more that football teaches us, and the metaphors of life are there again. They're ingrained in the game of football. So it's not something just to be watched on telly as a piece of entertainment. It's a lesson to be learned.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chris. There's so much to learn about just the World Cup and the football, including mathematics and the aerodynamics of the 21st century ball. Thank you so much for being in our studios, and we look forward to meeting you again. Viewers, remember it is Brunch Education Talk. Now we've discussed so many things, especially about the new ways of delivering education for our children in this 21st century. If you've got questions, you can send emails to brunch@loveworldtv.co.uk. To learn more about these things, you can log on to imafidon.com. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of our programs on Loveworld TV, Sky Channel 588.